So welcome to a very chilly St. Patrick's Day morning on the Pagan Perspective. I really wish I could show you how beautiful it is right now, but the camera is really not going to pick that up. So anyways, chilly as it is, it's so beautiful. The birds are singing and everything, and so I just can't help but be outside. So this week, we have a question from someone named Will, who asks about our witchy crush. And they write, so I was talking to a friend the other day, and she mentioned that she had met an old Santeria woman at a Mexican grocery store. She called this woman her witch crush, which I thought was such a great term. So my question is, do you have a witch crush? Someone you admire or have in the past admired and maybe aspire to be like? A role model perhaps? Anyone you know through media or personally? Is there an Albus Dumbledore to your Harry Potter? So yes, this is a delightful question. I love it. And I'm going to separate between crushes and role models. And so of course I've had, tons of crushes, especially lots of YouTube pagans who get out and share themselves, and I just can't help but when I see that kind of beautiful truth that people are showing and sharing of themselves, I can't help but just really kind of crush on them, but like, oh, you're wonderful, especially a lot of the, the co-hosts here and everything. So, but in terms of role models, I chose two people, one real life and one fictional, who I think who really have been role models for me on my path, on my journey as a pagan, or a witch. I do identify as being a witch, and one of these people, who I'm going to mention, does as well. And those two people, the real life person would be Starhawk, and the fictional character would be Hiroko Ai from the Red Mars. So Starhawk is a wonderful author, pagan leader. She wrote The Spiral Dance, The Fifth Sacred Thing. The sequel to which just came out and is excellent. I'm actually blanking on the name of it, but it's really worth reading, very powerful. And for me, she was someone who was my first permaculture teacher. I did something called Earth Activist Training when I was 17. And then several years back, I went back for another version. And it was, it's kind of hokey to say that it was life-changing, but it really was. It really was that time period in my life where it helped, where I was really deciding who I was becoming and where I wanted to focus. And, I'd started college and that changed what major I had, and it was very powerful. So the particular program was intensive 2-week, I think, which brought together permaculture, magic, and activism, and there were some other awesome teachers in there, and the other students, and it was a very, as I said, life-changing. And her work has just been very inspiring to me throughout the years, and it continues to be. So I really admire the work that she puts out and her as a person and her integrity. And so she is a role model for me that I feel very grateful to have someone like that to look up to. In terms of the other individual, who is a fictional character, that would be Hiroko Ai from the Red Mars, Green Mars, Blue Mars. And I don't want to go too much into who this character is because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's going to read these books. They're by Kim Stanley Robinson. They are superb. They are sci-fi. I think probably, hands down, in my opinion, the best sci-fi of the 20th century. And they are very slow. Kim Stanley Robinson's writing makes Tolkien look like he's going at a fast clip. So if you don't like long descriptions, it can be a hard book for some people to get through. It can be Some people love it. It's great to listen to if you like to listen to books. But anyways, this particular character is one of the first 100. She is incredibly influential, and I think would be very hard for anyone to argue not pagan. But through her actions and her beliefs, she's able to shape the course of humanity and the course of human life throughout Earth, Mars, the solar system, and eventually the galaxy. So I really don't want to, or the solar system, then onto the galaxy. I don't want to spoil too much, but she's always in the back of my mind of, you know, Hiroko as someone to aspire to be like. And she was never a point of view character, so she's a little bit mysterious. She almost kind of becomes a goddess-like figure. Again, I don't want to spoil too much. So those are my 2 cents. Those are my folks. There are, of course, lots of other figures in media. There are a lot of other figures in real life that I have liked, that have been powerful to me. But when I think about the most, like the 2 most real role models, people that I really truly over the years aspire to be like, those guys would be it. So anyways, again, as I said, happy Paddy's Day, or Irish Appreciation, or Irish remembrance for the diaspora and all of what our ancestors went through in the celebration of that. And hope to hear from you guys in the comments if you have anybody that you want to share about or anything like that. And until next week, okay, take care.